Happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. It's your girl Maria Milagros here, and this is Storytime with Maria. So about a year ago, I was getting ready to do a workshop, and in the morning I go and I get some fruit and I get some snacks and stuff. So I went to the supermarket. And I don't know if you've ever been to the supermarket first thing in the morning. I'm talking when the doors open. Because if you have, you know that the majority of the customers that are there are the older population. So I'm trying to zip to the supermarket, and that's not really happening because a lot of them have walkers, or they're using the shopping carts as walking aids. So I'm like, okay, this is fine, because I try as much as possible, not all the time, I'm not perfect, but I try as much as possible to ask myself, what can I learn from this, and how can I give back in this situation, right? So I'm like, you know what I can learn from this? To slow down. So I slowed down in the supermarket, and I'm going around, and then a person in the aisle needed me to get something from really high, and a person needed me to lift something and put it in the cart because it was so heavy. So sure, look, I'm learning to slow down, and I'm giving back. Fantastic. I'm feeling all kinds of wonderful. I'm in the right mindset for my group. I'm feeling great. Everything is going fantabulous, right? I'm leaving the supermarket with my bags, and I have them on my arms, and I'm walking out of the supermarket. And as I'm walking out, I step off of the really, really sad excuse for a curb. I mean, this curb, other curbs laugh at it. It's so small. And as I go to step off of the curb, for some reason, my feet were like, no. And then I started stumbling. And not just stumbling, but like trip, fall, walking. Have you ever seen that? Like where you go to take a step, and each step is a guaranteed fall, but then you stop it with a stumble, and then you move into another trip step. This is how I started moving through the parking lot. I wasn't gaining much space, but this is how I'm going through the parking lot. And I have my bags, and I'm doing this. But bonus, because I'm extra, not only am I stumbling, falling through the parking lot, but I'm screaming out loud. No, 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 no. Why? Why am I screaming? Because I'm extra. I don't know. So I'm screaming no as I'm walking through the parking lot, and I notice something over here out the corner of my eye. So when I turn to look, it's an older gentleman, and he's using a walker, and he literally stops, and he's looking at me sideways like this. And he's just watching me in this crazy stumble, fall, tripping, walking thing, looking shocked as all get out. So I look over, and I see him out the corner of my eye. I notice that he's frozen, watching me. And when I go to step back, to look back, I don't know what happened. One foot got caught on the other, and that was it. I went down. And as I'm falling, I hear in my head, we're going down, right? And then I fall. And not only do I fall, but I slid into the parking lot a little bit. Just enough that my bags went everywhere. Some of them broke. My salsa jar went over there. My potato chips went over there. Bananas and grapes are everywhere. I cut my knee, ripped my jeans. Hot mess. Hot mess. I'm laying on the ground in a starfish position in the parking lot of the supermarket. I look up at this guy, and he's still absolutely shocked. And then he said, "Are you okay? Can I help you?" Right? Seriously? Right? And I go, because this is apparently what you say, I go like this. This is my only response I could think of. "I'm a dancer." What? Who says that? What does that even mean, you crazy lady? So he gives me the, okay, crazy lady face, and then he proceeds with his walker into the supermarket. I'm laying on the ground in the parking lot, and I cannot help it. I start laughing. Literally, I'm cracking up laughing because I'm saying to myself, how did I get here? This is insane, and why am I still laying on the parking lot? So I have to get myself up from the parking lot, because I was there for about a good 10-15 seconds, and as I'm getting up, thank you, sweet baby Jesus, that I got up when I did, because a car was coming, and the old lady who was driving the car could barely see over the dashboard. She would have ran me over. Had I stayed in that parking lot, she would have ran me over. And then I gave her, whoa, 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 and she, so sorry. And I said, sorry, I tripped, And then I started gathering up all my food. Some of the stuff I could fit into other bags. Some of the stuff I just had to carry because the bags are broken. I get to my car. I throw everything in the back seat, and literally all over the back seat. And when I sit in the driver's car, my hands are burning from having slid across the driveway. My knee is throbbing, and I'm thinking, this is hilarious. So I start laughing, and I'm like crying. I'm laughing so hard. Like, this is ridiculous, Maria. Because here's what I realize. Because again, I try to learn from every experience and every story. Here's what I realize. Sometimes we are going along in our lives and everything seems to be going really well and rather perfect. And then all of a sudden, we get tripped up. And sometimes we fight against the tripping. No. And we give into that struggle and we give into that battle, right? And then sometimes we fall down anyways. And when we fall down, it stings and it burns and we throb. And sometimes when we fall down, things become a mess. And sometimes when we fall down, things break. And sometimes there are people around us who want to help or who offer to help. But the truth is they cannot, because it is not their place in those situations to help, not even a little bit. Because we have within us the capacity and the resilience and the capability to get up, to dust ourselves off, to gather up our things, to maybe learn a lesson, maybe have a few laughs, and to get on with our lives. We do. If every single time something happened to us and we got tripped up, we expected someone else to come and rescue us, we'd still be laying in the parking lot. I'd still be laying in the parking lot. And do you know what happens when you stay laying on the ground? You get run over. And not even on purpose. She would have not been able to see me. She would have ran me over. But we lay there in our pity parties, forgetting how amazing and capable we are. And that even in this, we are the hero of our story. So I think about this because yesterday I was coming out of a building and there was a tiny, tiny curb between the building and the sidewalk. And every time I see a really tiny curb, I think that's a sad excuse for a curb. And then I think, well, I tripped on one of those and skid across the parking lot. So I always have a little laugh about that. I go to step off of this tiny curb and I feel the stumble. But because I learned from the last time, and because I'm always taking account for my lessons, I stuck my right leg out like this. I made a lunge type position in the sidewalk and I created a break. I learned from last time. I'm not going to repeat those same things. I'm not going to let myself struggle. I'm not going to let myself go through the battle and the fight of that because I don't need to. I'm actually pretty quite capable of doing that. I didn't know that before, but now I do because I learned my lesson from last time. And when I did, different scenario, a guy was walking down the street and he said, "That was kind of cool." And I said, "Thanks." That's all I could say. I didn't feel like I had to justify my position. I'm a dancer. And I certainly didn't have to justify why I shouldn't have been where I was. How much time do we waste justifying where we are and then saying, that's a whole nother video, let me tell you. But sometimes we do that and we say, I shouldn't be here because. But you're there. Dancer or not, Maria, you're laying on the parking lot. Get up. Gather up your things. Get on with your life. Learn from it, have a few laughs, and share the story. Hopefully, it'll help someone else. So that is what I have for you today. That is my Super Sparkly Everything. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a fantastic Super Sparkly weekend. And if you feel the stumble, stop yourself, because you are fully capable. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who can benefit from this, please share it, because sharing is caring. And if you haven't already, subscribe. The button's over here, maybe? Sure. And I love you, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.